The story I'm about to tell isn't easy. It carries within it a whirlwind of emotions, betrayal, love, and the painful reality of what it feels like when the people closest to you cross boundaries that should never be crossed. My name is Emily. I never thought one day I'd be sitting here recalling the events that shattered my faith in family and relationships. But sometimes the truth has to be told, even when it's hard to hear. It all started in a quiet suburban town in Texas. I had been married to Daniel for almost 5 years. He was the kind of man who lit UPA room when he entered. Tall, athletic, with a smile that could make even strangers feel like old friends. When I met him in college, I was instantly drawn to his confidence and his energy. We dated for 3 years before tying the knot, and in many ways, I thought I had found my forever. But forever can sometimes crumble faster than you think. Daniel had a younger brother, Ryan. Ryan was 3 years younger than him, a bit more carefree, and always chasing after fun. While Daniel was responsible and at a stable job as an engineer, Ryan had bounced around from one job to another. He was the kind of person who never seemed to take life too seriously. Still, I liked him. He was funny, charming in his own way, and whenever he came around, the house felt more lively at first. I thought of Ryan like a brother-in-law should be thought of, someone connected by marriage, someone he could joke with and trust. Never in my wildest dreams did I imagine things would ever cross a line. It began subtly. Ryan would sometimes hang out at our place when Daniel was working late. He'd watch TV with me. We'd order pizza or Chinese takeout. Harmless things, we'd laugh at shows, share stories, and it always felt like friendly company. But little by little, I noticed something changing. Ryan's compliments weren't just casual anymore. He'd tell me I looked beautiful, even when I was in sweatpants. He joked that Daniel was lucky to have me. At first, he brushed it off as playful flattery, but deep down, something in me knew it was walking a dangerous line. The first time things went too far was on a rainy Friday night. Daniel had been Caladento, worked for an emergency project. Andrian showed up unexpectedly with a bottle of wine. I remember laughing, asking him if he was planning a date night for us. He grinned and said, "Why not? Daniel trusts me and you could use some company." The wine flowed, Thelator got louder, and the atmosphere became heavier with something unspoken. When he leaned in that night, I froze. My mind screamed no, but my body betrayed me. I pulled back quickly, saying it was wrong, but the seed had been planted. That moment lingered like a ghost between us every time we were in the same room afterward. I tried to convince myself it was just a slip. Thatrion was impulsive and I was vulnerable. It would never happen again. But temptation is a tricky thing. The more you try to ignore it, the louder it knocks. And soon I found myself caught in a storm I couldn't control. The line was crossed completely one evening when Daniel went out with friends to watch a basketball game. Ryan came over again, invited as he often did. This time there was no wine, no pretense of just hanging out. There was tension already buzzing in the air the moment he walked in. Should have stopped him at the door. I should have told him not to come over when Daniel wasn't home, but I didn't. What happened that night becameth beginning of a secret I carried for months. Ryan and I entered into something that was dangerous, wrong. Button, that moment felt exhilarating. We both knew it was betrayal. We both knew if Daniel ever found out, it would destroy him. And yet, every time Wes swore it was the last, it somehow happened again. Hurry up, brother. One last round before he gets back. Ryan will joke in whispers, half serious, half mocking the situation. It made Mr. Mac twist because deep down I knew how twisted it was. But secrets have a way of chaining you. Each time I tried to end it, Ryan would pull me back with charm, with the thrill of what we were skiing. On the surface, I was still Daniel's loving wife. Cooked his dinners, laughed at his jokes, held his own in public. But inside, guilt was eating me alive. Every smile I gave him felt fake. Every touch was tainted. Started avoiding eye contact. And Daniel, being the perceptive man he was, began to notice. "Is everything okay, Em?" He asked one night, brushing my hair from my face as we sat in bed. His eyeswear soft, filled with love. My chest tightened with shame. I lied, telling him I was just stressed about work, about life. He believed me because why wouldn't he? He trusted me with a very thing. But lies can't last forever, and mine came crashing down in the careless way possible. It was a Saturday of turn, sunny and warm. Daniel had gone out to run errands, and Ryan maybe. Again, we thought we had time, thought we were being careful. But Daniel forgot his wallet and came home early. The moment the front door creaked open, my heart stopped. Panic surged through me, but it was too late. Into the room and saw everything. The look on his face is something I will never forget. Shock, pain, betrayal, Saudi. It broke something. Inside him in an instant, he didn't yell at first. Head just stood there, frozen, staring at Thetwo people he trusted most in the world. And then the silence shattered with Ganner. "What the hell is going on?" His voice was trembling, but it carried more weight. Then if he had screamed, free entree to speak, stammering excuses. But Daniel cut him off. His hands were shaking, his eyes filled with tears, hair fused to let fall. He looked at me, and in that gaze was every memory we had of her shared, now shattered. "How could you, Emily?" he asked, his voice breaking. "With my own brother, you wanted to explain, to beg for forgiveness." But what words could Makite write? What words could erase what he had seen with his own eyes? Where unknown. I cried, tried to reach for him, but he stepped back like my touch burned at him. The fallout was devastating. Daniel left the house that day, slamming the door behind him, and he didn't come back for weeks. When he finally did, it brazenly to collect his things. Divorce papers followed soon after. My marriage, the life I thought I had built, was gone. As for Ryan, the bond between the brothers was destroyed beyond repair. Daniel cut him out completely, refusing to speak to him ever again. Their parents were devastated when they found out, unable to understand how something so unforgivable could happen between family and me. I was left with nothing but regret. The thrill that once clouded each judgment was gone, replaced with an emptiness that felt like it would never heal. I lost my husband, my integrity, and the respect of everyone who once cared for me. If there's one thing I've learned from this painful chapter of my life, it's that betrayal, no matter how small it begins, will always grow into something destructive if you feed it. One careless choice can unravel years of love and trust. And the worst part? Isu. Don't just hurt the person you betray, you hurt yourself too. Today, I'll tell this story not to justify what I did, but to warn anyone who finds themselves standing at the edge of a similar choice. Don't do it. Don't give vine to temptation that will only bring destruction. Once trust is broken, it can never be fully repaired.